everybody, Scott here again, and this is workout one for week one. So today we're gonna have a two-part workout with two different Metcons, and we'll do a warm-up to get things going. So let's start with what we're gonna do for the warm-up. So what I want you to do is a 3-minute cardio section. So that cardio piece can just be an easy run. You can jump on a stationary bike, rower, skier. You can even grab a jump rope. So you just want to time yourself for 3 minutes doing that cardio piece. When you're done with that, we want to do something that we call a leg swing series. So I'll show you here for that leg swing series. You can be up against a wall or a pole in your basement, wherever you're working. We want to get across the body. So we'll just do 8 on each leg. After you do 8 on each leg, you just turn, keep your chest nice and high. And again, we'll do 8 on each leg. So that's the leg swing series. We'll do that in warm-up quite often. Second piece is our arm swing. So for an arm swing, we would just go across the body. We could get 8 of those in. Then we would do some circles. We go forward for 8, reverse for 8, switch arms forward again, and reverse. And then finally we can go up and back. And that would be our arm swing series. Then what we do is we would do some air squats. So for this, we'd want to have our torso upright, and we throw our hips back, and we just kind of sit down in the bottom, wherever your squat is for now, and we're just kind of moving around, getting things warmed up. After you feel like you've got things mobilized a little bit, then we'll do 10 air squats. So we'll just do 10 squats. After you get through 10 of those, we'll get into our lunge. And I like to push this knee out. Try to raise your chest. We can even try to put our elbow to the ground and then reach. We could do 3 of those. And then you would switch legs, do the same thing, where we're in this position, pushing out. Then we can get the knee or elbow to floor, and then raise up to the ceiling. We could do 3 of those. So going through that sequence, that would be our warm-up. And then we would jump into our what we would call our metabolic conditioning part 1. So for part 1, this will be 7 minutes, and it's a 7-minute AMRAP, otherwise known as many reps as possible. So we would set a timer for 7 minutes, and we have 3 different movements. We would do 5 push-ups, 10 goblet squats, and 15 ball slams. And I'll go through and demonstrate what each of those are. So for our push-ups, we've got a few different variations we can do with those. We can just do a standard push-up where we're in a plank position, dropping to the ground, chest touches the floor, and we push up. A couple of things here. We just want to have our arms in closer to the body, up to 45 degrees. So you could also be at more of a 45-degree angle or nice and tight. What we're trying to avoid is a really wide grip and arms going out to the side. We're trying to avoid that. So keep it all nice and tight. This is what we're looking for. Another variation of that would be if we dropped to our knees and we did that same chest to ground. That's just gonna be a little bit easier. Another variation you could do is in the plank, drop to the floor, put knees down, and push up while on your knees. That just works your core a little bit more. And finally, we could do on a box. So a push-up on the box is just gonna be a little bit easier. We can even go down to our knees. If you don't have a box, you could do against a wall where we're pushing against the wall. That would probably be the last variation we would go to if these others were too difficult. So you'd have 5 push-ups. Next would be goblet squats. So ideally we would take a kettlebell and we would just do our 10 squats with those. You could also use a ball. You could do squats with a ball, even a dumbbell. You could hold a dumbbell and do squats with that. If those are too difficult, just go with an air squat with no weight. The last movement would be a ball slam. We'd have 15 ball slams. So what we want to do with this, we want that ball to be between our feet. We're going to hinge here, pick that ball up. It stays close to our body the whole way. We push overhead and we slam it. So we can bring the intensity up if that feels good. So those are your 3 movements. Again, 5 push-ups, 10 goblet squats, 15 ball slams. When you complete that, you're gonna rest for 2 minutes, okay? So take a break, get a drink, sit down, really take time to recover, all right? Then you're gonna jump into your second set of as many reps as possible. So 7 minutes, as many reps as possible. This time we're gonna do 5 box jumps, 10 Slamball thrusters, and 15 sit-ups. So let me go through each of those. So for the 5 box jumps, I've got my box here. What I want to do is I want to keep my chest upright, and I want to jump up onto the box, and then fully squeeze my glutes, extend my hips, and we can use a much lower box if we want to start here. That's totally fine. If jumping on the box is too much to begin with, we can do a step up, okay? The big thing here is we want to squeeze and extend those hips, and then make sure that we change feet. Okay, so that's 5 of those. Next is a Slamball Thruster, so we're going back to our slam ball. Very similar to that goblet squat that we did in the last round. We're gonna squat and push overhead, okay? The piece that I really want you to focus on here is when you squat and then you extend, it's this hip extension that brings that ball up. So again, I pick it up, squat, extend my hips, press overhead, press overhead. So we've got 10 of those. If you don't have a slam ball, you could use a dumbbell. If that's too much, we can just work on the motion without any weight. And then finally, sit-ups. We're gonna have 15 sit-ups. You can do these in a variety of positions. You can have your feet butterfly, lean back, touch behind your head, and then sit up. So we can get 15 of those. If you're more comfortable, knees up, that's fine. If you're just starting out and you want to anchor your feet, use some dumbbells, a wall, couch, whatever. That's okay too. So that's your second metabolic conditioning. So you've got Metcon 1, 7 minutes, 5 push-ups, 10 goblet squats, 15 ball slams, rest. Second 7 minutes, 5 box jumps, 10 Slamball thrusters, 15 sit-ups, okay? So that's the first piece. Then we're gonna move into Metcon 2, which is gonna be 5 rounds of some type of cardio activity. So that could be running, biking, rowing, ski erg, something that can get that heart rate up. But we're gonna do 5 rounds of 1:30 easy pace, so very easy. Second minute is moderate pace, so that's where you're starting to breathe hard, but you can still hold a conversation. And then 30 seconds of a very hard effort. Then we revert back to that 1:30 easy, minute moderate, 30 seconds hard. So we do that sequence for 5 rounds. And again, we can run, and that run could be maybe a brisk walk into a slow run, into a harder run. You can choose which piece you'd like to do for that. But that would be workout session 1 of week 1. And if you have any questions, make sure you reach out so we can help you get those answered. But that's what we've got for session 1. Thanks.